Okay, so thank you for being with us. Can you tell us in short what For Honor is all about? Why are all those sword fighters fighting each other?
So For Honor is a mainly multiplayer game focused, but we also have a campaign and PvE modes. But first and foremost, it's about feeling the emotion of a true warrior in the battlefield. So the weight of that sword in your hand, that split moment when we have to flee or fight, is really what For Honor is all about.
It reminded me a little bit of Red Steel, because the main man designing the game, your main producer, he also made Red Steel, if I'm not mistaken. So, do you know what kind of elements he took from Red Steel and put into For Honor?
Well, yes, our creative director actually worked on Red Steel too. It's a very different game, however. What you feel in the control scheme is way more intuitive in For Honor than in Red Steel. But Jason, our creative director, is fascinated with swordplay and the art of battle and everything related to martial arts. So of course it has a link in that fashion. But otherwise, it's a very different game.
And am I correct? It's not historically accurate, is it?
Absolutely not. We wanted to have those three legacies of warrior, the Viking, the samurai, and the knights fight together. And as you know, it didn't happen. So we created that world where it did. It's a bit if you take the Dark Ages and continued forever, so it got darker and darker and darker. So the whole world is at war. But it's really, we're going to tell more about our world in the campaign and bring you with us in that place.
So you have all these characters with all different fighting styles, but I mean, a samurai is something totally different than a Viking. So how do you balance that? How do you make it seem logical?
Well, we have, as you said, the three factions, and within the faction there's multiple warriors, multiple heroes. So you will have many Vikings, many knights, and many samurai, not only one. For example, the ones that you saw in the demo, we have the Warden, who is our first knight character, against the Oni, who is our first samurai character. And one is more on the defensive side. He has good throws, he has good blocks, and the Oni is very offensive, extremely fluid and deadly, but he has a poor defense. So it's really about, yes, balancing the different abilities of the character, but mostly giving them a specialty. And in terms of balancing, we do a lot of playtests in-house. We bring people from the outside to try the game, and it's extremely important for us to have that data. Plus, every week, the whole team plays, and I get all of that data, and I like it. I'm a game designer, so this is what I do. So I take all that data, and we crunch it, and we see what's good, what's not that good, and we tweak everything each week. So it's really precious data for us, but it's also because the team cares. So they all play, they all scream on the floor, they're all excited. So it's a good team spirit.
What other games would you consider an inspiration for Honor? Because personally, I have some titles in mind, but I'm not going to spoil them. But what titles?
Well, I know that Jason, a creative director, didn't have titles when he thought about the game. It was more about the actual art of combat, the actual martial arts. He was taking classes in German longsword when he thought about the idea of For Honor. So it's a different inspiration. The inspiration comes from the actual martial arts. And we had some incredible weapon masters come into the studio to do mocap and tell us about their different way of fighting, and meeting them was just amazing. And everything you see in the game, every animation has actually been performed by a weapon master. And the way we do, we tell them, so be awesome, I'm gonna put it in the game more than the other way around. So it's just so great to see them perform their art and to take it and to make it as real as we can and to celebrate what they're doing.
So you took inspiration from real martial art performances, which kind of reminds me of, that I think it's History Channel, The Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah, it did for me too. I was like, Deadliest Warrior, and the Viking won, and I'm a Viking, so I'm happy. Yes, there's a little bit of it, because we all have that fantasy of who's the best, But this is the player that are going to decide who's the best, because I want nice Viking and Samurai to fight in the battlefield and see who comes on top.
Okay, but you have to choose right now, Viking or Samurai, who wins?
Oh, Vikings. I'm a Viking, of course. Vikings, Warborns for the win, of course. Samurai don't stand a chance. They don't.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.